Karen stormed into the neighborhood meeting room, slamming a thick folder on the table, and yelled, "From today, grills are banned. No pets, no decorations, anyone who disobeys will pay." The room froze, neighbors staring at her in disbelief, whispering to each other, but Karen didn't care. She straightened her shoulders like she owned the street, her eyes blazing with control. Across the room, Mike, a quiet single dad, sat calmly, holding his daughter on his lap, and muttered under his breath, "This is insane, but I won't back down." Karen walked up to him, wagging a finger. "Your barbecue? Gone. Your dog? Gone. Understand?" Mike smiled faintly, not showing his cards. "We'll see about that." As Karen strutted out, leaving the meeting in stunned silence, cameras from a neighbor's phone caught her sneer and her brand new grill parked in her own driveway, a direct violation of the rules she was forcing on everyone. That tiny shot of irony made several people in the room smirk secretly, wondering how long she could keep this up. Mike waited until Karen disappeared down the hallway, then leaned toward his neighbor, Sarah, whispering, "She's playing a game, but she forgot one thing: we know the rules better than she thinks." The neighbors started quietly sharing their little secrets: backyard grills, puppies, holiday lights, everything Karen would have fined them for. Mike pulled out his phone, showing a hidden camera he'd installed near the neighborhood entrance, and said, "If she tries anything, we've got every move on tape." Later that evening, Karen strutted back outside, inspecting yards, muttering to herself about perfect compliance, completely unaware that cameras from 3 different homes were already recording her breaking her own rules, tossing decorations in her yard and letting her dog run free. The whispers among neighbors grew, curiosity turning into a plan, and Mike's eyes gleamed as he realized this was the moment the tide could turn. One careless laugh from Karen, one visible slip, and the entire neighborhood's patience was about to pay off in ways she could never imagine. The next morning, Karen posted another notice on every front door, warning of fines and immediate action for anyone breaking her new rules. But Mike and a few brave neighbors had already acted, organizing a small group meeting in secret, mapping out every rule she'd forced and every rule she herself had broken. By midday, they began discreetly placing cameras around the community, focused not on spying for revenge, but on capturing proof of Karen's hypocrisy. That afternoon, Karen strutted through the streets, inspecting lawns and pets, muttering about community safety, oblivious to the lenses watching every move. Suddenly, a neighbor shouted, "Wait, isn't that the brand new grill from your own driveway?" Heads turned, and murmurs spread like wildfire, as multiple cameras captured Karen blatantly breaking the very rules she imposed on everyone else. The first major twist had landed, and the neighborhood began to whisper with growing confidence, maybe, just maybe, Karen's control was finally about to crumble. That evening, Mike uploaded the footage to a private group chat of concerned neighbors, showing Karen's blatant violations: her grill, her dog running free, her decorations up, every infraction documented clearly. The group grew quickly, everyone sharing more proof of Karen's double standards, from hidden cameras to smartphone clips, and the atmosphere shifted from fear to quiet excitement. Karen, meanwhile, walked through the neighborhood the next morning, barking orders at anyone outside, unaware that her every action was now under constant watch. Midday, she tried to summon the HOA board for an emergency session, claiming the videos were fake, but one neighbor calmly said, "We have timestamps, dates, and multiple angles. Karen, care to explain?" Her face turned pale, and a small tremor of fear crept in, the first crack in her unshakable facade. For the first time, the underdog residents realized that their secret plan could actually remove her from power completely, and Mike whispered, "It's our turn now, time to fight back legally, but smartly." The next day, Karen called an official HOA meeting, expecting to intimidate everyone with her usual threats and fines. But as she strutted to the podium, Mike and a few residents discreetly set up a projector, ready to display the compiled evidence of her repeated rule violations. Karen began her speech, pointing fingers, but suddenly the screen lit up with videos of her breaking the very rules she enforced: her dog running in the yard, her grill smoking, decorations flapping in the wind. The room went silent, neighbors exchanging shocked glances, while Karen's confident voice faltered, This can't be real." Mike stepped forward calmly, "All of it is real, Karen. every rule you forced, every violation we documented, it's all here." Gasps and murmurs filled the room as the HOA board leaned in, reviewing the evidence, realizing that Karen had overstepped, abused her authority, and violated the laws she swore to uphold. The twist hit hard. The woman who claimed to control everyone's lives was now completely exposed, her power crumbling under the weight of her own hypocrisy. By late afternoon, the HOA board called for an emergency vote, and neighbors gathered, whispers of anticipation running through the streets. Karen tried to argue, her voice shaking, "You can't do this. I'm in charge." But every eye in the room was on the evidence, her own actions projected for all to see, and her usual intimidation had no effect. The board chairman cleared his throat and announced, "According to the bylaws you helped write, Karen Miller has violated multiple clauses and is hereby removed from the HOA leadership." Shock and disbelief spread across her face as neighbors quietly celebrated, realizing their patience and clever planning had paid off. Yet the biggest twist came minutes later. Hidden clauses in the HOA documentation revealed that anyone removed for such violations also lost personal privileges over community property, meaning Karen would have to return the grill, pay fines, and remove all illegal decorations. The underdog residents, led by Mike, had not only reclaimed their rights but also ensured justice was served in full, legally and completely. That evening, the neighborhood felt lighter, laughter and chatter replacing the tension that had hung for weeks. Karen slunk back to her house, trying to appear calm, but the cameras installed by residents captured her hurriedly removing her grill, hiding decorations, and pacing nervously in her yard. Mike and the neighbors walked past, waving politely, knowing full well they had won without breaking a single law. The final twist came when the HOA board announced a new rule: any future attempts to abuse power would result in immediate investigation, and all residents now had access to shared community footage, a permanent safeguard against any repeat of Karen's tyranny. As Mike tucked his daughter into bed that night, he whispered, "We didn't just protect our homes, we protected our community," and a sense of pride and freedom settled over the neighborhood, the memory of fear replaced by the triumph of clever, legal justice. Weeks later, the neighborhood had fully recovered, with families grilling, kids playing, and decorations brightening every yard. Karen kept to herself, her authority gone, but whispers of her past misdeeds followed her wherever she went. One evening, as she peeked out from behind her curtains, she noticed Mike and the neighbors organizing a block party, laughter echoing through the street, every camera angle live-streamed to ensure fairness. The final twist struck quietly but firmly. Despite her attempts to control, the community had grown stronger, more united, and empowered by the very laws she once manipulated. Mike raised his glass in a toast with the other residents, saying, "We didn't just win, we built a neighborhood that can never be bullied again," and for the first time, everyone truly felt that freedom, safety, and justice had returned to their homes, a lesson Karen would never forget, and a story the neighborhood would share for years to come. The end.